Hi everyone, so I've just made the video talking about 5 habits to protect your love, and now I want to make the follow-up version, which is 5 habits that are sabotaging your love. This information comes from the book Can We Start Again Please by Andrew G. Marshall. And the first thing he says that sabotages your love is having to be right all of the time. And we all know this because we've probably all been in relationships before where the priority for us is being right, and even if it means backing down, even if it means that the argument's going nowhere, even if it means our partner's upset, something within us just says we have to be right. This is a principle thing, and it can just go on and on and on. But even when you win the battle, when you're in that situation, you don't feel good afterwards, and the damage it does to your relationship when you constantly have to be right is just not worth it. So that's one thing that sabotages your love. The next one is zoning out on your phone, on your laptop, on the TV, basically being distracted and not paying attention to your partner. Now, occasionally that's going to happen. We might have other things we need to be getting on with, but if you continuously do that in your relationship, what you're telling your partner is that they're not good enough, their time is not valuable enough, that you don't appreciate them enough, that the relationship isn't like worthy enough, because all these other things, scrolling on your phone, being on your laptop, zoning out, watching TV programs, video games, it's not saying that all your attention should go completely on your partner and they have to be, the center of your world. But if you're zoning out too much and you're doing other things like that, what are you actually telling your partner about how you feel about them? The third one is tiptoeing around your partner. So something that can sabotage a relationship it can be both extremes, really. The first one can be when someone is overly assertive and they have to have their own way and they have to be the ones, they're putting their partner on edge, so their partner is tiptoeing around them. But the reverse of that could be when you are just too agreeable. You never say how you feel, you never say what you want, you never express your needs because you're so worried about what your partner is going to think and feel. You've got so many fears about the relationship that you are constantly just tiptoeing around. And the problem with that is no one ever then gets to the issue. You never get to the root of what the problems are. And you have these couples where they're sweeping everything under the carpet and nothing ever gets resolved. And then all of a sudden there's a big blow up out of nowhere. So the fourth thing is putting the children first. So if you're in a relationship, children obviously have got needs. Children will always be a priority in a relationship, but you can't neglect your partner. The amount of couples I've worked with over the years, and I've worked with, in the 15 years I've been a counsellor, I've worked with over 100 couples. And what they find is that when things like date night, we don't have time. Things like just making time for each other, that's still important. Putting the children first is obviously important, but putting your relationship first is just as important. And the final thing is keeping score. This is something in a relationship that is just, heading for disaster. And that is every time your partner does something wrong, you're keeping a check card, you're keeping score. Well, remember when you did that? Remember when you did that? Or how many times have you did this? And you're never going to win, because it doesn't matter how many things are on the cross sheet or the scorecard. What's the point of it all? Because what you're effectively saying is that you're keeping check of all your partner's mistakes, you're keeping check of all the things your partner does wrong, and all that's saying to them is that they have to be perfect. So the key thing with that is saying to yourself, all of these little things that you're doing that are sabotaging your relationship, is it worth it? What is the point? And then to say to yourself, do the opposite. So the 5 things in the other video, which is about protecting your love, if you do them and you reduce doing the things that are sabotaging your love, then hopefully that will make a healthy, happy relationship. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts, everyone. And please feel free to share this video with others if you think they'll benefit too. Thanks for watching. Bye.